Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood number RM3311. This is a door pull is what it is. This is what's called an offset door pull, and it's because the mounting point and the pull handle are offset. They also, of course, make these in just a typical straight pull, but why you might want offset would very likely be because, well, you want to have a key cylinder somewhere here, and you don't want the pull handle to be in the way. Very commonly why you're going to see offset pulls, and very infrequently, although it does happen, albeit infrequently, customers call and say, yeah, I can't get my key to the cylinder. Yeah, offset pulls needed to be ordered. And sometimes client will ask if they can just order these bases separately, and the answer is emphatically from the factory, no. They will under no circumstances sell these bases separately, at least not that I've ever seen. So this is an RM3311, and that means that it is a particular shape and design, size, so to speak. The RM3311 is an 1.25" diameter bar, and by the way, this is in the 629 finish. So 1.25". A little hard to see there, I think. 1.25". They also have this at 2 and a 2 3/4 projection. So that means from the face of the door to the outside of the pull handle is going to be 2 3/4. I would say that that would be accurate. I believe the offset is about 1 3/4, and that is indeed what it is. Offset, the center line of my mounting point to the center line of my pole is 1 3/4. This bar happens to be a 20-inch overall length, custom manufactured for this client alone. 20-inch with a 15-inch center to center is what the client wanted on that. 5-inch, 6-inch, smaller than center than overall is pretty typical and common. Now the 629, that means two things: made of stainless steel. This is not a solid bar. This is a tube. Number two is that it means that it is in a polished finish. So very nice and attractive. This client has 4 of these, in fact. Must be 2 pair of doors is my guess. 4 pull handles, and then 4 push bars. All 8 of these items, the 4 push bars and the 4 pull handles, were ordered as Type 12HD for an 1 3/4 thick door. Okay. Type 12 means that it has Type 12 HD means that it has a decorative cap, a piece of solid stainless that has been machined, worked, drilled, and tapped for that that's a 5/16 18 piece of threaded rod. Overall length should be about 2 1/4, and indeed it is. That would be typical for an 1 3/4 thick door. This will have this small little black dot that's there. Well, that's a hole into which you would insert a spanner wrench so that you can get that tightened all the way down. If you were to simply search our site for Rockwood spanner or Rockwood wrench, you'll certainly find that wrench. You need a spanner wrench or some tool to go inside of there to tighten that adequately. And because there are 2 mounting points, there will be 2 sets of these decorative caps and bolts. Let's switch to the screen view where we can take a closer look at some supporting documentation. Okay, now here is the item that we are looking at. Not too much to see here, but we're going to dissect the part number. RM3311, it's the style. 20-inch OAL overall length, 15-inch CTC center to center. The Type 12 HD bolt package for an 1 3/4 thick door in 629 finish. Polished stainless. Now, there's a link below this video to the cut sheet, and here it is. This will show the RM, bear with me one moment, that cut sheet. Okay, and as you can see here, we have, your RM3311, 1 1/4, 2 3/4 projection. The other sizes would be a 3310 and a 3312. What changes, obviously, is the diameter of the bar. What size diameter bar should you order? Well, I'll say that the 1 inch is likely the most common overall. And it's very likely driven by cost would be, my guess. Now, as far as I'm concerned, cost really shouldn't drive the size of the bar because it's more of a design of what's most appropriate for the application. I find that if you have a much larger door, an 8-foot door, a 9-foot door, correspondingly, not only would the height need to be compatible with the overall height of the door, but the diameter of the bar needs to go with that as well. A tiny little 1-inch bar on a 4090 door is probably not better than 1.25 inches or 1 1/8 inches. Now, I will say, and if you think back to the video that we were, the part getting us to this position, 1.25 inches is not insignificant of a size of a bar. I personally feel the 1.5 inches is awfully large. 1.5 inches is the same diameter of the most common commercial grab bar. So I don't know that 1.5 inches is the way to go, and indeed it is the least common, with 1.25 inches being less common than 1 inch. But for a larger door, 1.25 inches I think is a robust size that's going to give you the concept that it fits the overall size of the door. Not too big so that a standard hand size can't really pull it open, but 1.5 inches gets awfully large. However, if you're looking for something large, 1.5 inches is the way to go, because that is it feels like it's a much larger bar. So the 3310 series, that is your offset with a flat end. Okay. You can also do the 3330 series with a radiused end, or a curved end, or a round end, they call it. Okay. You can do the straight models as well. Again, you want to be mindful of where your cylinder is going to fall. You have a giant door. You've got a key cylinder here. You put that pull handle right over here. That might not be the idea. You might want your pull. Sorry, I know that's an awful drawing. To be out of the way, so to speak. Center line, moving it over, inch and 3/4. You might want to get that moved out of the way is what I'm driving at. Now, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page, and when we click on that, the manufacturer's product page within our site comes up, and that's going to allow you to review not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full line catalog that you see here. However, those door pulls are in the architectural door pull catalog, which is currently here. This is 116 pages of door pulls, and if you search for RM3311, you're certainly going to find the page where it comes from, but you're also going to be a third of the way through the catalog, of which there are countless, seemingly countless variations on this pull. Architectural base materials like stainless, brass, bronze. I'm sure they have something in aluminum. Rubber wrapped, wood infused, leather wrapped as well. So if you're looking for ideas, this will serve not only as a catalog of what they can make for you, but an idea book as well. So keep that in mind. Great resource there. Now, also, we talked about type 12 in terms of the mounting type. I'd like to quickly bring you over to our mounting kit parts master table. And as we open up that document, this is 20 pages that detail all of the different mount types and component parts and compatibilities. So this is far more information that I really want to show you when we're talking about just a through bolt mount. But here it is on the 8th page. So we're doing a decorative through bolt for a wood or metal door, any door really, but you need to define the door thickness, most certainly. So a type 12 HD and XHD, the only thing that changes is the bolt size, the diameter of the bolt. If you're doing this as a new project, I would very much encourage you to order the thickest bolt possible, because we sell a lot of replacement bolts. And it's because bolts are getting broken and cracked and things of that nature. Go with the biggest one right from the get-go, would be my opinion. The type 1 that we see here, that's the standard through bolt mount. It's just a finish countersunk washer with a stove bolt with a Phillips drive here. If you want something that looks a little bit nicer, go right to the type 12. If it happens to be for a glass door, it's the same thing, just for a thinner door. It's a Type 15, but they include a bushing and a couple of washers when it's a Type 15. You don't want that architectural metal obviously touching the glass. When we get into the world of mount types, though, there are several and many variations on single mounts, single pulls, concealed mount, through bolt mount, back-to-back style that have a variety of derivatives with a single cone bolt, a double cone bolt, a spanner style as well. So there are lots of options when it comes to mounting. The only advice I can really give is go as thick as possible, as I said before. And actually, in the front of this catalog is where they tell us what you are permitted to do based on the size, based on the model number of our pull. So RM3300 through RM3312, these are the pull types that you have available to you. You'll note they don't have a 12XHD listed here. I believe that's because you need to go with a different pull handle that will allow you to have them prep that for the larger diameter. So going with the largest size is awfully nice. At the rear of the book, though, should you need component parts, replacement bolts and whatnot, here it is. So in our environment, the 12HD, if you needed to buy the disc and the threaded rod, it'd be an SP1055, and then you define the finish as well. Okay, handy resource. Now that final catalog, the first one, the full line catalog, Rockwood is known as a manufacturer of trim and auxiliary hardware, and has since the mid-19th century. Has been. So this is going to have your wall stops, your protection plates, you know, door pulls, things of that nature that are common to trim and auxiliary hardware. Okay, a very, very comprehensive offering of trim and auxiliary hardware is here for you to review. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, very nice quality fit and finish, and the phrase very nice quality fit and finish is absolutely synonymous with Rockwood in practically every single case. It's an unusual circumstance when they send something either incorrect or just substandard. I had in 2014 a piece of 612 finish on something I don't even remember, and it was definitely not satin bronze. It was satin something, just not satin bronze. And actually, last week they sent an edge pull that was incorrect. But before that, I really don't recall the last time. They do a really great job at getting the material shipped out right the first time. They have an expert command over the finishing process, the entire manufacturing process. I've not been to their factory, but I will be there at some point because the material just looks. The only defect on this are my fingerprints, which I will wipe off with my chamois behind here before it gets repackaged. Really great looking material. Expert command over the manufacturing process. They must possess excellent customer service, tech support, the whole 9 yards. Rockwood is really the name that you are going to want to look at long and hard when it comes to a confluence of predictable, prompt, reliable shipping lead times, product diversity of what they offer, backed by exceptional technical support, tremendous value as well. Any questions on the Rockwood RM3311 door pull or any other Rockwood product? And by the way, you can do this in lots of lengths. You want this 12-inch? Great. You want it 112-inch? Probably no problem. I don't know what their cutoff is. It might be 10 foot or it might be 8 foot. I don't recall. But it's quite long. It's longer than most doors are, that's for sure. And speaking of pulls like this, you might want to look at their locking ladder pulls. They have a series of a broad spectrum of available back-to-back pulls. They can be single-mounted as well, that incorporate a key cylinder or a thumb turn or both. So if you want door pulls like this that incorporate a locking mechanism, a bolt, they can do it. If you want egress compliant push bars, Rockwood can also do it, provided you're doing it on any type of door other than a glass door. We'd be able to supply that for you. Any questions on the RM3311 or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. If you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please click subscribe as well, and even share the video with someone that you know. And if you have any questions for a future video, please send them our way, and we will make every attempt to oblige. And thank you very much.